Hello, this is Mr. Wynn, and this lesson is 9-2 parabolas, and we'll need a calculator. So be able to find the equation of a parabola, or a quadratic equation, if you're given two of the following. So it's like the last topic. Instead of having 3 points and using a calculator to do quadratic regression, we're going to have two of these three certain things. There's something called a focus. It's that red thing inside a parabola. It's this thing right here. There's the vertex, which y'all know is the minimum maximum of a parabola. It's the starting point. And which is on the parabola, and a directrix, which is a line outside the parabola, that green line. Now we only need 1 point on the directrix, which is directly below or above the vertex. So see those three dots on there? I have two red ones and a blue one. There's something special about them. Those are on the same line. So if this is x is 4, all these will be 4 comma something. Also, the vertex is the midpoint. It's right in the middle of those two red dots. And if I didn't say it, the focus and directrix, they're always equidistant to the parabola. So they come from this. Here to here should be the exact same distance as the directrix to that point. So my picture's not the best, but no matter how it works, if I do here, it should be the exact same distance as that. Anyways, our goal is going to find the 2 points next to the focus, then use regression. So those red dots I cannot use in the calculator. Remember, we need 3 points on the quadratic, on the parabola. We have the vertex as 1. We need this point, that's 2, and this point, that's 3. And those are right beside the focus right there. They're the same y values of focus. So it'll make more sense on the next slide. So if we have the focus and the vertex, find the equation of parabola. So I like doing this very organized. I like writing down F, V, D. So F stands for focus, which we know is at 3, 1. V stands for vertex, which we know is 3, 0. And directrix is the line, but I don't need the line. I need the point on that line. So the first step is to find the missing point. Well, if V is the vertex is in the middle, if I want to draw this, which you don't have to, we know the focus is right 3 up 1, right here. When the vertex is right here, we're trying to find this point on the directrix. My directrix looks like this. So my parabola should look something like this. Right, should be going up. Well, if this is 3, 1, and this is 3, 0, this should be 3, -1. There's no change in the x, so x should always be the same as long as you have a vertical parabola. And for the y, I have to do the pattern. From 1 to 0, I subtracted 1. So if I subtract 1 again, I really get -1. And if you're going to do this here, that's really plus or minus 0, that's 0. All right, so step 1, find the missing point. You will need it. Step 2 is find the distance between F and D. So basically, how far is it from 3, 1 to 3, -1? Well, the 3's don't matter. If you look at our picture, I can tell that from here to here, that's 2 spaces. All right, so the distance is 2. Now, if you want a formula to do that, you just subtract the numbers. I do 1 minus -1. It's really adding. That gives me 2. So subtract and turn it positive to find the distance. All right. Now last, once you have that distance, you're going to add and subtract that distance from the x value of f. All right, so it looks like a lot, but it's not that hard. So our focus was 3, 1. I'm going to add that 2 to the x part of the focus. So really, I'm going to do 3 plus 2, 1, leave the y the same, and 3 minus 2, 1. Leave the y the same. We'll fix that. So really, that turns into 5, 1. and 1, comma 1. So I know on my picture we have the vertex. What color should I use? I'll use green. We know this right here is 3, comma 0. And the 2 points next to the focus, this right here is 1, comma 1, and this right here is 5, comma 1. With these 3 points, so the vertex and the 2 points defined, I'm using regression. So if y'all forgot, in the calculator, you go to stats, edit, type it in. So it was 3, comma 0. Well, 3, 5, 1, 0, 1, 1. So go back to stat, calculate 5, enter, 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 enter. There's my equation. So y equals 0.25 x squared. 0.25 x squared minus 1.5x plus 2.25. That would be the equation of this parabola, right? It is positive. It's going regular. It's not flipped. You could turn this fractions, but you don't have to. I'll show the next one. So here we have the focus and the directrix. So again, I'm writing my chart, F, V, D. The focus we know is at 2, comma 8. Directrix, we don't know the vertex. The directrix is y equals 12. Remember, we don't want the line. We want the point on the line. Well, y is going to be 12. The x part is going to be the same. It's going to be 2. So if you need a picture, again, which you don't, we have 2, comma 8. Directrix would be y equals 12. Looks like this. But I don't want 0, 12. I want this point right here. That's going to be 2, comma 12. And this will be 2, comma 8. My vertex is right here in the middle. So I'm trying to find this point. And if the focus is inside, it's going to look something like this. It's going to be upside down U. So I expect a negative A. Well, it's the midpoint. So what's in the middle of 2, comma 8 and 2, comma 12? Well, it's 2, comma 10. There's no change in the x's. In the y's, halfway between 8 and 12 is 10. You can find that by taking the average or midpoint. You add the numbers and divide by 2. Because 8 plus 12 divided by 2, well, that's 20 over 2, which is 10. All right, so again, find the missing point. After that, find the distance between the focus and directrix. So the distance between 2, comma 8 and 2, comma 12 is 4. Basically, 12 minus 8 is 4. Then last is you add and subtract that. I'll say to F. All right, so I'm going to do 2 plus 4, comma 8, and 2 minus 4, comma 8. That gives me 6, comma 8, and negative 2, comma 8. With those 3 points, so the vertex, this right next to the focus, and this right next to the focus, I can do regression. So for regression, stat, edit, type the numbers in, 2, 6, negative 2, and it was 10, 8, 8. Stat, calc 5, there it is. So my final answer is y equals negative 0.125. 0.125 x squared plus or minus, yeah, plus 0.5x plus 9.5. That's my answer. Remember, you can always turn to a fraction. All right, you can always turn to a fraction by pressing the number, so negative 0.125, math, enter, enter. That's negative 1/8. So you could say this is, or y equals negative 1/8 x squared plus 1/2 x plus 19 over 2. All right, so one's in decimal form, one's in fraction form. All right, in the last case, example 3, we have the vertex and the directrix. So F, V, D, Vertex, -3, -2. Directrix, remember we don't want the line, we need the point. Y is 4, the x is going to be the same, -3. The focus, remember the vertex in the middle, so the x doesn't change. Well, if -2 is right here, and 4 is right here, what's on this other side? You can tell it's subtracting 6, so subtract 6 is -8. Alright, so it's just 6 away from the vertex. Alright, once you do that, find the distance. So the distance between -8 and 4, I'm going to subtract them. 4 minus -8, that's really 12. They're 12 spaces away. Alright, last I'm going to add and subtract. Alright, so that's really -3 plus 12, comma, -8, and -3 minus 12, comma, -8. So my final points turn into +9, -8, and -15, -8. Alright, I'm going to use those 2 points I found with the vertex to find the equation. So -3, -2, stat, edit, -3, 9, -15, -3, -2, -8, -8, stat, here it is. Now that's an ugly decimal, so you can't round. Make sure you turn to the fraction. So -0.0416 repeating. -0.0416 repeating. Just keep typing it. Let's go math, enter, enter. That's really -1/24. So y equals -1/24 x squared. Let's see what the other one was. -0.25. So that's -1/4. And the last one was -2.375. 0.375, math, enter, enter. That is -19/8. Alright, and there's my answer. Alright, here's a practice problem. Go ahead and try it. There's your answer. If you do that, you should be fine for the quiz in class. Again, this is Mr. Wynn. Thanks for watching. See you in class.